I walked in with permission.
During the meeting, I guess we'll continue on to our work session. Is that appropriate, Mr. Porter?
Yes, ma'am.
So we'll move on into our work session. We have no work presentations, no comments from citizens. We'll go into our discussion items. The first item is regarding the resolution for the payment.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. County Commissioners, thank you for the opportunity to present this resolution to you in hopes that you will pass the resolution as the other legislative bodies of Jackson County have all the way from Bridgeport down to Woodville. And hereby adopts this resolution to declare Jackson County, Alabama, Lake Guntersville as largemouth bass fishing capital of the world.
This is a resolution that was put together to request that we pass it and designate it. So,
yes.
And has the city done so as well?
They had already gone to the work session. They will vote on it at the next official session.
Okay. So questions or comments about this? Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
If there's no objection, then we can place this on next week or next meeting.
Appreciate that.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next item regarding public works emergency rates. This is something that has been discussed in the past, and I guess we want to determine how we wish to proceed. Currently, in cases of emergency, tornadoes or other disasters that happen around the county, the public works does charge a rate for the work that we do. And we've talked about working with the communities around us to charge a rate that would help them out a little bit more. So I wanted to discuss this a little bit and talk to Mr. Porter about how this would need to be done, if we would need to declare these situations as items of public public interest or public good, or if we would be able to have a rate schedule in cases of emergencies like this. Of course, we would not work for private citizens, it would be for the towns and cities themselves that call upon us.
Sure. You would have to determine it to be a matter of promote public interest.
Okay. Again, this is something we've discussed, and I think probably the best way to pursue this would be to have the committee come up with a chart or rating scale, depending on whether we do it by the, I guess it would be done by the hour, but how we need to charge for the equipment of those items. Questions or comments on that? I guess what we'd like to do is just get the committee, you can take a look at it, get us a schedule together, and then replace that, and go from that point. Anything else on that? Okay, next item is regarding DocuWare proposal. This is, Mr. Bain, you may be able to explain this a little bit better than me. We've looked at several different possibilities of providing a software that would allow us to put a lot of our information on a server as opposed to having it on paper, just storing it on one computer currently, such as the meeting minutes, agendas, different things like that, where we're trying to search back, or even in some cases our payroll processes that we keep paper copies of. A lot of things we may still have to keep some paper copies of, but having a solution like what you've got presented here would allow us to put that online and allow for us to easily find items that we were looking for. Example would be if we're looking to see when a particular thing had passed a county commission meeting, we would be able to do that if it were all stored on the server. The proposal that you have would allow us to do that in multiple areas. The focus would be on personnel and on our general county commission items to begin with, and hopefully we would expand it over time. I wanted to present this to you tonight for everybody to take a look at and see what questions or comments were in place, and then see how, maybe not move on it immediately, but get this out there to see if there would be a possibility of doing this sometime in the future. So questions or comments, or do you have anything to add to that, Mr. Manning?
No, like you mentioned, this was kind of the initial stage, just to start off with the commission office and see how that goes from that going forward. But it's pretty good. And with the yearly support fee, which has got noted on here also, if $36,003 per year. And that would be a yearly.
Questions or comments on this?
The 3603 a year, is that any type of warranty, or is that just simply a maintenance agreement to
That's
help maintain their equipment, or what?
That's essentially the software, keeping the licenses on the software information. And then, of course, if we upgrade, allow us to keep our software up to date and all.
So that will actually become an annual expense. I
Right.
think that's what you're going to do.
Right. The benefit of this, and the reason I'm not pushing right now to move forward with it, I did want to get it out there. I think it's something we need to move to at some point in time. The benefit is, of course, as we go through this retirement incentive and we are not replacing a lot of positions, I think this has the opportunity to help us in the long run as far as being able to do more with the fewer employees that we have. So I think there's a big benefit in this. We're not as digital, I guess, as we need to be at this time. This is going to help us as far as researching information and providing that information quickly, not just to ourselves, but to citizens in the county that are looking for it also. So I think it is something we need to look at and be looking at. And of course, like I said, any ideas or comments on it, start discussing. Any other questions or comments? If you would, again, keep this on your minds, and there's a little more research I want to do before we bring it back to the commission. Okay. Next item is regarding the placement of historical documents at the courthouse. Mr. Guppy.
The three documents that I'm referring to be the Declaration of Independence, Ten Commandments, and the Constitution of the United States of America. These historical documents are what shaped our great nation. Each of these documents represents the very foundation of this country. If we removed only one of these documents, we would see a totally different country. We have gotten away from what this country was founded on. If we want to return our country back to what made her great, we must start at the local level. It's time for the majority to make a stand on what made this country great. And I'd like to commission to put this on our meeting to vote to post these documents on the courthouse grounds.
Is this something, Mr. Porter, maybe of that, sir, as far as posting it in the hallways, I'm guessing we wouldn't have any problem with the Historical Association, but if we posted this outside, would there be any questions or things we would have to work with the Historical Association on?
I don't think so.
Do like brass, bronze plaques or?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get prices on different ways of doing it and see which
You
people
going to do a
do.
granite statue price also, or just plaques?
Yeah, I'm gonna have 3 or 4 different designs, and we'll see what's the most cost effective, and a little test for our people.
Any other questions or comments? All right, I guess if you'd like to place this on the next one, we have those prices ready for next.
Yeah.
If there's no objection, then we'll place that on the agenda for our next meeting. Next item regarding retiree one-time increase as passed by the state. Mr. Manning, I think that was what you need to tell what this is about.
Well, you all got a copy of the letter. They're basically just telling us that 87 retirees currently in the county, and that the way they calculate this one-time bonus is a minimum of $300 or a certain amount per year of service, and the total cost would be $47,310 that Jackson County would have to fund.
And the way I understand this, there are two ways, I'm supposing two ways. We can pay for this up front if we were to go with this, or it could be stationed out over a period of years. Is that correct? So what about that?
It can be paid by
Next
the month
year.
into the fund.
Right.
It
Next
does
year.
not have to be paid at once.
If we were to move forward with this, I would suggest we not do that for two reasons. One, it's going to increase our annual budget, which of course, improvement this as a one-time would increase this next year's budget. But it would increase the annual budget over the period, and of course, we'd have to go through and make all those changes in the payroll system, which is another added thing, especially if the funds are there to do it. But what are any other questions or comments?
Is there any fund, let's say this is retired employees, general fund will have to absorb it.
My concern with it obviously is, well, two concerns. My first concern is, of course, the situation we are in financially. I know this is, I appreciate definitely what our county employees do and what the previous county employees have done. But we are in the process of a lot of cuts. So I have a concern with trying to do something like this. Of course, the other part of that is these raises apparently can only be given with the state's approval. So I'm not sure, Mr. Porter, if later on, once we did get out of this financial situation, would we be able to get a local law passed that would allow us to give an increase to our retirees?
I can't say for certain. My first impression is no, because it's a state statute that describes this, and you can't adopt a local act that is contrary to a state act. But I don't know that for sure. I'd be glad to look at it if the commission decides it wants to do that.
Well, if you could research it.
Well, my personal stance on this, the ones that have contacted me have not had an increase since 2008, that's 6 years. Our county employees have received raises during that time. So I'm personally going to, I'd like to see it on the agenda because I'm going to support it. Whatever we have to do to fund it, that's what we need to do.
Now, I'll make the point, just to share the point, that the retirees have not received an official raise. That is correct. However, the cost of insurance has gone up, and while not all the retirees participate in that, that is an incredibly expensive cost to the county every year that we provide, and that's a bonus. I don't know that many companies or even many counties provide, is paying for that retirees insurance. Again, I think we have 13. That are on insurance. 37, okay, out of that 87. So I know that's not the whole group, but the cost of insurance continues to go up, and we do pay that increase every year. And I think we're trying to understand those numbers a little bit better still. But that noted, that is an additional cost to us every year. That is, in some senses, an increase to their benefit every year that we are providing already. I feel like they should share that.
If I understand this correctly, the state does this for state employees, and then since the county employees and the different municipality employees fall under the same umbrella, it goes back to the county or the particular municipality to pay this.
The state passed it to where anyone that wants to participate can. It is under the state retirement system.
Right.
And we are responsible for the cost, which is something I don't fully understand. Being from the Retirees Association, we don't pay that retirement check, but we would be responsible for this one-time increase.
It is not reoccurring. Make sure people understand it's not raising the retirement amounts. It's a one-time bonus. We pay it one time. That's it. Just make sure that's not miscommunicated.
Okay, any other questions or comments? Okay, it's been requested to be placed on the next meeting agenda, so that'll be on the 25th, I believe. So if there's no objection, we'll place it on that date.
Could Mr. Manning please have us some numbers on their insurance costs?
Yeah, we've got,
in the past 6 years.
he's trying to get that together. We've got an estimate, but we will get that.
I've got to call in now to get some more up-to-date figures from like 5 years ago and 10 years ago. We should get that soon.
And also, let us make sure that we understand, will these employees anticipating having insurance coverage after they retired when they got on? You know, is that part of their package? You know, some folks come to the county system, don't pay the greatest in the world, but they expect these benefits as they get older, correct? And, I mean, I would like to make sure that that's something I understand.
What about, I mean, when you retire, do you get a cost, is the cost of living guaranteed to them?
The only cost of living, again, would be through the state. And I'm not sure, you know, if that's something that's normal across states or normal across, you know, whatever else. But that's something, I guess, from time to time, the state of Alabama has done. I think, was it 2006? Is that what you said was actually the last time the raise?
If the state wants to mandate it, looks like they can pay for it.
Well, yeah, it's actually, the state passes it, but they're not putting a burden on the retired, on RSA, which I guess is the group that's responsible.
Unfunded mandates are becoming normal.
Do you offhand know the equation to figure the years of service and what would be our maximum recipient and who?
I don't know who the maximum recipient would be. The average is $550 per person based on this. That noted, some of these individuals would be under 300, but technically the minimum is 300. So they're only going to get $300. Some of these folks who had, you know, if someone had 30 years of service, you know, you have to calculate that. And I think it is it $2 per year of service or something?
$2 per month.
$2 per month of service is what calculates it. So if you're under that amount, under the 300, you will get at least 300. And then, of course, you know, if you were here 30 years, and you would get whatever that came out to for $2 per month of service.
So similar to 30 years.
Any other questions or comments? And again, Ms. Willis will have a list of those.
If you don't mind, would you also just put the years of service by these retirees?
Yeah, if she has that list, I'm not sure if she does or not, but I'll check to see. I know we have the list of those receiving the insurance benefits, because we're still taking care of that, but I'll check and see with her. Any other questions or comments? Okay, again, if there's no objection, we'll place that on the agenda next Monday night, or the 25th. Okay. Move on to our reports. Mr. Mayor. Mr. White.
That was my, I have to thank you, while Mr. Parsons was speaking about the bass fishing. I think the chairman is filled with a few calls about the Mud Creek boat ramp. So I thought that kind of let everybody know. Department of Conservation is in Montgomery's over that boat ramp. They've got a pipe that's coming loose in the driveway going down to it, and they have closed this boat ramp to further notice. I had a call this morning on my phone, on a message that he called me on the weekend, told me he was planning on trying to work on it and start working on it this week. They declared a state of emergency with someplace so we wouldn't have to go through the due process. So hopefully they'll be starting back on it. This is one thing I think the chairman's had a lot of calls on. I know how I have, and I wanted to kind of let maybe the media put out so that it's something the commission has nothing really to do with. It's something they chose to do. We did, they asked us to block a couple of barricades, and we provided some barricades for them, and they put them in place and everything. So, but the message this morning was to start with this week sometime.
Thank you. Mr. Porter.
All right.
Sheriff. Mr. Mills.
No, sir.
Mr. Guthrie.
Yeah, one thing, County Road 93, we've had some issues with loggers, just clear cutting in that area, and some of the road is, we've had some trouble with, so I guess Philip needs to explain what all we've done. That way we can kind of talk about it and explain.
County Road 93 is the road that goes down the mountain in the Bryan area. We have started getting a couple of calls last week of loggers in the area. And, they've apparently caused a lot of destruction. I've not been able to get there yet. I did send a man to look at it today. They've had trees laid across the road. They've had logs laid on the road. We got a call today that because of all this work, apparently the rain occurred this weekend. We've got some shoulders starting to slide off. It's about, he said estimated 75 to 100 foot. The shoulder slid, it's about a 10-foot drop off, about that far off the edge of the pavement. So my sign guy today, I sent him out, had him who left office as I was leaving to come up here. He's going up to try to assess the situation and possibly put up barricades if it's as dangerous as the call we got just about an hour or so back, and possibly put up some cones and stuff that to help. So if it is a danger. I don't know, I haven't been to talk to him. Of course, there's no phone service in Ryan, so I'm going to try to get him as soon as I get out of here and see what's going on with it. But apparently the loggers have destroyed their road, the shovels and the right of way adjacent to it. So
I'm gonna wait, I'll be around.
I know Mr. Guthrie, I called Mr. Guthrie, it was Friday or Saturday, I got a call, and I called him, he went and checked on it, and I talked with called Rocky last week on Thursday, when we first got the call. He actually sent a deputy up to see if we could stop this problem. He talked to somebody. Apparently it's got worse. I don't know if they tried to stop, do better, but it has got the road apparently this weekend. It's still.
Do we post those roads for a weight limit?
Can we post the road? Do that road is not posted for a weight limit.
Might want to consider it, if it's tearing the roads up.
It ain't so much the weight of the trucks, Commissioner, it's the work they're doing on the side, it's the road, the trees falling on the road,
Okay.
and clear cut. I mean, they have completely took down every bit of greenery that's in the area, according to Mr. Guthrie, and I said, it just caused an erosion issue.
I think the skidder too was dragging logs, it was dragging them up next to the road, and it was just watering out right next to the highway, and then this rain comes, and there's no trees there to hold the dirt, of course, it's just gone. And I don't know if there's a way to fix it.
I seen a couple of pictures, it was pretty bad. I mean, you're talking thousands and thousands of dollars of construction, the right of way. And maybe Mr. Porter could discuss what we can do with it. I know I've been involved in a couple of lawsuits before that, and we always won.
We can, I guess we can get together. Sure. Take a look at it.
Once we know what the damage really is, I think it'd be appropriate to do that.
I'll take pictures and stuff.
Mr. Bidwell?
No, sir.
Mr. Layla?
No, sir.
And that concludes our meeting and our work session tonight. We won't have a budget meeting this afternoon. We will be out of town next week for our ACCA conference. And we will have our final meeting of the month on the 25th, along with the budget meeting to follow that. And we do have, again, I think it was announced last week, we do have budget meetings on Thursday from 8 to 4:30. Those will be departmental budget meetings, so we'll look at those as well. So we'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion, have a second. All those in favor say aye.